one to avenge them. Me! Me! I'm going to defeat you!
Hey, how's everybody doing today? This is my man's Wukong with a giant motherfucking bow. So anyway, today we are kind of going over the build, the overall arsenal, the overall loadout that I've been using in Warframe for better part of the month, ever since kind of Deimos came out and Hurundo and the Quasi were added into the game. So we're just gonna show off like these 5 builds of things that I'm using, and they're really not that far-fetched. I call Wukong the god of the middling, or the middling god, because he's such a, after his huge buffs and then his huge nerfs, and now he's just kind of, a baseline okay Warframe, where like his 4 sucks ass, his 2 is pretty good, his 1 is really good, and I've subsumed Eclipse onto him. And subsuming Eclipse isn't really necessary. You can totally do this whole arsenal with just a 5. You haven't subsumed a Mirage, or you could do something else. I just went with Eclipse because Wukong's already pretty tanky with the build I have. 15 health, and that gives the clone like 4,000 and some, or something like that. Anyway, let's just get into the build here. So this is my Wukong. I've got Steel Charge just for the points, and I'm using the Quasi, and the Quasi is very nice. As you can see, only one forma does require an Exilus adapter. Arcane Energize is pretty important, considering I don't have Prime Flow. I've only put regular flow on here, so you always would like to have a lot of energy. We have Arcane Grace. This is really just a knockout, like overkill. You absolutely don't. You can just put anything. You can even put like no arcane. Like, it doesn't matter. If you only have like maybe a rank 1 or rank 3 Grace or Energize, you could probably like slap in something else to help out with that, like Barrier or I don't know, Blade Charger. I've just gone with Grace because the specific build that I've made has a good amount of health, and I put Adaptation on there. So I was like, yeah, Grace doesn't even help that much, but, once in a while I'll get that regen. Either way, on my operator, I do have Magus, I think it's called Magus Nourish, where in Void mode, I heal my Warframe, actually all Warframes, including my teammates, by I think it's like 20% a second, or something like that. And Magus Elevate is usually the one people go with, but I think Nourish is actually, at least if you're running Xeneric, because half the time, whenever you got into your operator, it's just to do a Void Dash, so you're going to hit Control to go into Void mode. And either way, it's going to heal your Warframe about the same amount, if not more. So I think Nourish is good if you're using Xeneric specifically. Anyway, let's move on to my Ceranos Prime. Now this, fair warning, does have a Riven, but I do have a version without a Riven. Actually, that's on my regular Rakdos here. That's not the Ceranos Prime. Feel free, if you don't have a God Riven like this, literally just slap in something like anything really, like Prime Shred would work. Anything you have a forma for. Me personally, like Prime Cryo rounds would be perfect. I'd have to switch the fire out of here, thermite rounds for like electricity, but yeah. So actually, I'm just gonna show you how this Ceranos Prime performs with Prime Cryo rounds without the Riven. Is it's not bad. These are level 150s. It's not the greatest, but without the status chance, it's actually quite a considerable amount of damage. But it's just because I have it. Let me show you what this fucking ribbon does. Like, I'm not even gonna do headshots, just body shots. Bop. There we are. You can see that the crit with Hunter Munition gives it a lot more status, so the slash is actually proccing. And if I were to actually go for headshots a little bit... Yeah, these will absolutely one-shot. You know what, I'm still on horizontal spread because I went to the arsenal. Yeah, that's more what I was expecting. Absolute demolition. Not even fully charged shots, just poking them in the head and the status will kill him. Yeah. I'm just going to town, really. If like even one of the arrows hits them in the head, they're pretty much done. Oops, I missed. Yep. So as you can see, my buddy Hurundo is helping out there. I'll show him off as well later on. But yeah, that's kind of like anything you have a good ribbon for. If you don't have a good ribbon, I would suggest, I think my favorite primary would be the Fullman. Because it's only a 5-former build. Only 5-former, don't even worry about it. And it's not even a maxed out prime crowd rounds. It could be a 6-former build. Don't even worry about it. But yeah, this I think is the best sort of, at least for the theme of this arsenal, the best like all-around sort of, you know, middling kind of primary. It has unlimited ammo. And it's pretty much just an Arcoplasmor with better fire rate and slightly better damage. And then the alt fire also gives it a an automatic mode, which is like equally as good. You see, this is actually like pretty good. It does have a little bit of a nice reload, but limited ammo over time. You know, obviously you're not gonna be fighting level 150 heavy gunners very often. It is very nice. That would be my favorite primary if you don't have a ribbon or anything. Anyway, let's move on to the Athodai. This is what I've been using lately. This is not, again, you know, this is not my strongest secondary, as with, you know, this is the theme of this video, just the middling sort of baseline all-around builds. The Athodai, I think, is perfect for that. So the Athodai has that passive where if you kill any enemy with a headshot, it gets like double fire rate and unlimited ammo efficiency for like 5-6 seconds or whatever it is. And kind of taking advantage of that by putting in Prime Pistol Gambit and Target Cracker to maximize that you know, rate of fire. We're going to reset these enemies again because Hurundo is very good at proccing his spores. But we're just gonna... I think that's very good for not having the passive, and then with the passive up, just mow some dudes down, no problem. Yeah, so the Athodai is very nice, and it does, you know what, it does have an alt fire, which I never even use, which, as you see, uses up your whole clip for about a third of the damage that your regular clip would do, which, it's not great, but I don't know, if you're in a lower level mission, and there's just a lot of enemies close up to you, and you fucking, for some reason, don't feel like pressing E once, and go for that. Next up, we have the Quasi. This came out with the Heart of Deimos. These are quite an expensive weapon to build in terms of just getting them. It requires a Seraglass shard, which is like the rarest thing you can get in all of the Heart of Deimos. But I think it's very worth it. We do have the standard heavy attack build here with a slight twist. Instead of like regular Organ Shatter and a high damage mod, I've opted to save 2 Forma and just go for Amalgam Organ Shatter and viral damage. And you'll see that there is not much of a concession. It is very close, at least. So we're just going to do some heavy attacks. As you can see with the Quasi, it throws some daggers out with the heavy attacks. Might be a little bit hard to see in the recording. That's a little bit easier to see, right? Yeah, you can see those. Yeah, it is pretty much a Redeemer Prime, except if you are fighting something lower level, you don't have to deal with its weird stance. Although the stance is still weird and is quite a slow weapon. I would say that it is slightly more practical than the Redeemer Prime or the Stropha, although you probably would still bring those over the Quasi for like Eidolons and Prophet Taker, or whatever you would bring them to. So the Quasi are very fun. Again, you know, not my best melee weapon or anything, but they've just kind of been the all-around tool that I've been using for any missions. Next, we have Hurundo himself. So Hurundo is also something that comes with the Heart of Deimos. He is a Panzer Vulpaphyla, and you get that by hunting for regular Vulpaphyla. You know how you do conservation in like Fortuna and the Plains of Eidolon. You do that the same way in Deimos. Find a Vulpaphyla. If it's a Panzer, you stun it, and then you want to have an enemy kind of beat on it, like beat it up a little bit, until its name changes from Panzer Vulpaphyla to Weakened Panzer Vulpaphyla. And it's worth noting, the other two varieties of Vulpaphyla that there are also, like, pretty much as good. Basically, the thing is that they are immortal. So if we go into the upgrade screen here, Panzer Devolution. All the Vulpaphylas have some sort of devolution mod, or de-evolution, I don't even know if this is a real word. But yeah, so this one makes it so that it devolves into a larva upon death, and while it is in larva form, it'll pretty much be like a sentinel. It'll turn from a cavat to a sentinel, but you'll keep all of the Exilis sort of mods. You'll have fetch, you'll have animal instinct, you'll have hunter recovery, metapet kit, everything still applies. So that is very, very nice. Unless you seriously need that double loot from like a cavat, or for some reason you're so energy hungry that you absolutely require a Sahasa Kubro, or you're scanning things with Helios. Other than those sort of edge cases, this I think is that middling god themed sort of, the best companion just overall in any run-of-the-mill situation to bring to any mission. So this is a basic no forma build. Just kind of, you can really just shove anything in here as long as you got like fetch, but definitely recommend Primate Animal Instinct, Panzer Devolution, and the Panzer Vulpaphyla specifically has viral quills. Now what this does is every couple of seconds, 4 seconds in fact, it'll shoot some like viral damage in 3 prongs at an enemy. I can actually show this off. I'll just show him doing it. And it'll hit enemies and it'll automatically, instantly proc viral, as you can see. Yep. And if an enemy gets hit by 2 of that thing, they'll get spores, as in, Saren's 1. I don't know if you people know, but Saren's 1 is very strong. If I were to shoot an enemy in the spore, it'll spread the spores to literally everyone else in a very large range. And I don't even know the range on this. It might be based on your warframe's power range, but that's probably not the case. But either way, yeah, like these enemies are ribbed for her pleasure right now to just be absolutely decimated by any of the other weapons that I've been showing off. So not only is this Vulpaphyla invincible, but it actually is worth it to invest for the damage it does. And there is no other companion in the game that you can say that for, because they die. And so, I believe it is the best companion in the game for just your general use. So yeah, that's kind of been the build, the arsenal that I've been using just in general over the last like week or two, ever since I finished up formatting my Quasi. I just wanted to show all these builds off because they are very strong, very nice. And, if you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll see y'all later.